Hello and welcome to another edition of Attract Well Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of Attract Well, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Really glad you're here today.
We are. We're excited to be here today for a number of reasons. And of course, the one at the top here is the reason we're meeting today, which is to show you how you can take an event that you host, whether that be a workshop, a webinar style event, a class that you teach, and turn that into a resource that works for your business long into the future. Excited to get into that here with you guys today. We've got a fully detailed checklist that you can follow, including framework prompts for you to use. And today I'm going to be walking through all of the steps that you're going to want to follow and Attract Well to get this done. And that's kind of the cool thing about this is that every single step of this entire process lives in Attract Well. You don't have to learn another platform. You don't have to plug up 17 different tools. We can take this one thing that we use to engage in our business and to add value in a live setting and turn it into something that can serve our business, bring us in leads, and help to convert new clients long term. So let's get into it. Welcome again. As you're coming in, let us know where you're coming in from. Excited to see folks here from all over the world. We are going to pop out a video and get into these slides that I've prepared for you. And of course, if you are here looking for help today, if there is something that you'd like to work on together, please do let us know in the Q&A if that's the case. I do have one live review scheduled today, and that is for, let me double check here. I have got Leslie. Leslie, if you're here, maybe just let us know in the Q&A and I'll be sure to bring you out when it's time. So welcome you guys. We're excited to have you here today. We're talking about Evergreen event funnels, but very specifically, we're talking about beginning with a live event, right? So if you want to learn how to host something live, have the benefit of something live, and then translate the value of that into something that continues to grow your business forever, you're in the right place. All right, so let's get into it. Today, we are going to talk about how we can work through this process. We're going to use AI and AttractWell to brainstorm our topics and outline our content in just a couple of minutes. We're going to build landing pages and email campaigns using AttractWell's AI in under an hour. You guys are going to see the whole system here. We'll talk about setting up automated funnels for live recurring events and evergreen replays based off of that recording that we create with our live event. And then we can turn that one great workshop into a lead generation machine that runs on autopilot for as long as you want it to. And of course, as always, we'll get into some live help and Q&A. So if you have questions or you're here for a review, head over to the Q&A here live on Zoom. Let us know that you're here and let us know what you need help with. And if you would like to join us on a future live call and you're watching this as a replay, go to attractwell.com/office hours. We're live every Thursday at 2 p.m. US Eastern time. And we'd love to have you, even if you don't yet have AttractWell and you're considering migrating to us. If you'd like to work together, as anyone can choose to do, you can go to attractwell.com/work review, and that will reserve you a spot in the second half of one of these Thursday calls. And if you would like another opportunity, right? So this isn't the only time that AttractWell offers to connect one-on-one with a real human to help you out. You can also go to attractwell.com/live help and get on Pam's schedule to meet with her. She has other small, shorter format calls for you to join if you need that help. And if you want a little extra help, if you need something done for you, if it's migration, redesign, rebranding, building out of something that you would like to have done in AttractWell, we've got a team that can get that done for you well and competitively. AttractWell.com/concierge is where you want to go to learn more about all of the happy people who have used their services and set up a no obligation call. All right. I want to ask you guys a question. So we're here today. Tell me, have you ever put off hosting events because you thought your list was too small? Is this something that you have, and maybe you've dispelled with that rumor that you need to like have your list be a certain size before you start speaking publicly or hosting something that is more group focused. A lot of us fall into this sort of smallness trap of believing that we need to be at a different stage of our business before we start working in this format. And the truth is that it works regardless, right? The work that you do can build your business into the future. And this wasn't necessarily true a decade or more ago when folks started first offering things like webinars online, right? So these live workshops and webinars, they create a connection and a level of trust that happens faster than social media. It happens faster even than being on someone's email list. And so a workshop with 10 engaged attendees is going to outperform an email that you send to, 10 or even 100 times that number of people. And once you host that successful event, and this is the cool thing that we're going to get into here today, you can turn it evergreen and run it on autopilot. And I should say up here at the top, we respect your intelligence and the intelligence of the people that you seek to attract. We're not going to show you today how to create a pretend live webinar, right? None of this is about fooling people. We do not like that, and we don't teach that. So we're going to show you how you can ethically do this in a way that doesn't feel gimmicky and that truly does deliver a high degree of value to the people that you want to share it with. Now let's talk about our model here, live versus evergreen. You do get to choose one way or another. I highly recommend having a live event once a month though, at least, and then turning those, the best ones that you have, the ones that you like the most, into evergreen resources. So these live recurring events are going to create urgency and allow real-time interaction no matter how big your list is. And evergreen on-demand events are going to generate leads on a 24/7 basis without you having to be tied to a schedule. And of course, what we're again going to be showing you here today is a hybrid approach where you can host it live once, no matter how many people attended. Even if 0 attended, you've got a recording that you can then turn into an evergreen resource. So the first step in this process is to ideate. So we're going to come up with what our event will be, and we're going to use the built-in AI in AttractWell. And then we're going to use we're going to brainstorm our workshop topics. And I am going to show you here in just a second. Let me just go ahead and flip over here to the actual full-blown resource that we have created for you. This is a full guide. It's going to walk you through everything that you need to know, and it will give you framework prompts. Now, I do want to point out here at the top before we get started, if you want better results with our AI or anyone else's, you're going to want to set it up to understand you, your business, your audience, your goals, your voice, etc. Now, if you want to learn how to do this in AttractWell, I have framework prompts for that as well. If you go to the Success Academy here, you click over here on live training and replays, and then right here, I want you to search AI settings. This will take you to a training here on our YouTube channel, and I also have this in a blog post. Actually, let me come down here and grab this. In our blog post, I actually have a full setup guide, this checklist right here that you can follow that gives you examples of how to set up your AI in AttractWell so that it can speak like you, right? So that's going to be an important first step if you want to get best results. You're going to come down to My Account Settings. You're going to go to AI Settings. And then you're going to give it some background, right? So who do you help? How do you help them? What's your lead generating offer? Maybe the link to it if you've got a landing page set up, meaning your primary funnel. What's the thing that you sell? What problem does it solve? What's the approach that you use to close leads, et cetera, right? So I have, you can see, really well spelled out, including links to the landing pages, the consult, and the different calls to action that I use. Also, I have taught it to kind of think in a particular way about facing different audiences, right? So I speak to my clients differently than I speak to my leads, for example, right? So those different considerations are included here in this background information that you can give your AI. You could also choose your preferred AI model. Right now, I'm a huge fan of Claude. And I really love the writing that it produces. So that is how I have this set up. So that is really first and foremost, make sure that you've got some context in here, and it's going to improve the outputs that you have. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is come over here to Write with AI, and we are going to ideate. We're going to come up with our event. So here, I'm going to grab this prompt right here. And here we go. Voila, I'm going to copy this as a prompt framework for you to borrow. I'm going to paste that here, and I'm going to tell it I need to create a live workshop for my business. I'm not going to say webinar. So I need to create a live workshop for my business. My audience is, they already know my audience. I'm going to delete this. They also know what I do, right? Because that's all in my AI settings. I'm going to delete this. At the end of the workshop, I want to invite them to a discovery call. Great. And so I want to generate a compelling workshop title, 3 specific promises or outcomes, a brief description that explains what the workshop covers and why it matters. And then I want it to format the output so I can copy and paste it into subsequent steps. Let me go ahead and write that. Now, again, you notice I removed some of the pieces from the framework that I provided to you because my AI already knows, right? So here's because in my AI settings, it knows I work with postpartum moms. So here you go, the 5-step postpartum wellness framework from exhausted to energized in 30 days. So I've got 3 specific promises. We're going to discover our personal energy thieves. We are going to get a clear, actionable roadmap and then feel the shift in our body. We've got a brief description here as well. I am going to copy this to clipboard. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just open like a text editor on my desktop so that I've got this all here and ready for me to use in subsequent steps. And I'm just going to follow what's here from here on out, what's in this document. So our first step is going to be to create our landing page, right? And so I do have a prompt framework here. And so I'm going to need to grab this information and copy it. And let's come right over here to pages in Attractwell and actually build out this page. I'm going to click add. And I could actually choose any of these that I have or like. I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think, this one. I like this one. And I'm going to ask it to create a landing or opt-in page. And then again, I'm going to come over here and grab this funnel frame or this, forgive me, this prompt framework from step 2 to generate our landing page. Let me drag this down so you guys can see everything I'm pasting in here. So what I'm going to do here is my date and time. And so I'm going to do March 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then I want a landing page for workshop registration. And so this is going to be, this is a workshop registration page. All right. And then I've got the date and the time zone. Let me go ahead and delete these. And here, create a landing page for my live workshop. I'm going to come over here and grab all of that information that it already gave me that I told you I pasted into like a word processor on my desktop. There it is. Excellent. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to, let me see, I don't need that here. There we go. All right, create page. So that's the first step. We need to get this landing page going that's going to be offering what we are going to offer in that call. So let me go ahead and open up a new tab. We're going to go back to Attractwell's dashboard and create a Zoom meeting for this, right? So I'm going to go to the Zoom and events here. I'm going to click Zoom meetings. Now, I could have a recurring meeting here that I use for my monthly calls. I'm going to go ahead and just make this one about the call itself that I'm hosting. I can go ahead and grab the title. This is the 5-step postpartum wellness framework. So let me copy this. I'm going to paste that in here. It's one time. It is March 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be a 1-hour call. I'll have my settings here. I'll create the meeting. I have got this get link. I'm going to paste this into that word processor that I have open so that I could go back and reference it later and use it to build my campaign. All right, so let's go check out our page. It's still working. So let's look at what's next in the steps here. So we've got our page going. We have just created our Zoom meeting. And the next step is to generate our campaign. So let's go over here to campaigns in Attractwell. Oh, and it looks like it's done. So let's go take a look here. Ooh, all right. So what I'm probably going to do, I don't love this. This has got a little bit too much going on for me. So let me change out. I'm actually going to press and hold to talk and just tell this page to behave differently. So remove the background image from this section and change it to a solid black background. All right, so we'll let it do that and see if we like it. It did just take like a home page that I picked. You could go with something that's a little simpler. I chose something a little bit more complex here. No, that's not going to work for me. Let's go back here and let's see what's happening in our image back here. I want to, here's Here's what you do when you don't like it. You scrap it. And let's try that one more time. I'm going to go add, and I'm going to actually use something that's supposed to be a landing page, right? That's going to give us a little bit of a better outcome. So here's a pink one. This is for postpartum moms. Let's go back and try that landing page again using the more appropriate page for it to begin with. So there's our website pages, and it just takes a couple minutes. Here we go. So I'm going to paste that here. Again, this is March 12th, 2026, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Create a landing page for my workshop. Okay. And I'm going to grab that over here and paste again. This one's going to look a lot better. All right, so let's give that a second and head over and start building our campaign. So we're going to create a campaign using the campaign creator tool. Over here in our step-by-step guide here, I do have a prompt framework for you to use. So here we go, create a 3 campaign email for my workshop. And I'm going to grab everything here. I'm going to come over to my campaign builder and attract well, and we're going to get started with this. So here is the beginning of the prompt. All right. The workshop is on March 12th, 2026 at 7 p.m. The Zoom link is, let me go grab that real quick. I've saved that here in this open file on my desktop. Here is the Zoom link. All right, and here is the workshop info. I'll go grab that again from this open file on my desktop. There we go. And it does specify what I want it to do on day 0, day 1, day 2. I want 3 emails total in this case, and I want it to just go ahead and create it for me. All right, let's go back and take a look at this super cute landing page it made for us. It did give us this right here, which we could certainly swap out. Let's actually take a look here. Let's edit this and let's pop in. Here, let me go for the whole thing here. Okay, this I want to swap out, and let's try to find a free image from Pixabay, mom and baby, and search for one. Perfect. How about this one? Yes. All right, so that's adding it to the editor and to the image library. That is not where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to put it right here. Replace. Now it's in my library. There we go. Excellent. All right, so I've got that here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the preview. Excellent. It's got all the information nicely organized. It's offering the live workshop, giving them a place to save their seat, and giving this information as well. I like it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save this for now. And let's come back over to our campaigns and see what it's created for us. Here's our 5-step framework workshop launch from exhausted to energized. We've got a confirmation email here. It's got all the details. Looking good so far. We've got our day 1, which is going to be the day before. And then we've got our day 2. And there is the link to join the live workshop. So my Zoom link is here. It's already coded it up for me. Let me go ahead and give this a nice pink button design for that Zoom link. And I can do that again here. Perfect. So we can edit all of these messages to our liking if we need to change anything. It is going to be kind of reiterating those promises that were made already. This does send via email or text, however you choose. I can go ahead and click create. And now all we need to do is head back here to this page, right? And what we're going to do is go to settings, click this little arrow down, and we're going to make a new page like this one. And I do need to save it one more time, it looks like. All right. So we're going to create a new page like this one. This is going to be a thank you page, right? And this is going to be, we don't really need to prompt much for it. This is a confirmation page for this workshop. And encourage the visitor to check their email. And if they don't see a confirmation email from me within the next 30 minutes to get in touch, right? There we go, create page. So this is going to give us our confirmation page or our thank you page that we'll send them to after they register. Again, it just takes a few seconds to get that all queued up. We can go in, make sure that it is designed the way that we want it to. It is going to look very similar to this page. That's what I love about the page like this one feature. It makes it very easy to build out the different assets of a funnel in record time, right? So if you provide the information, it organizes it into a nice page for you. And then you are able to turn that into other pieces of this project, right? So in our campaign here, just to reiterate, we've got everything here already done, except we need to make sure that our campaign is set to send on a specific date, right? Because this is not Evergreen. This is the one that's supposed to be on March 12th, right? So that means that this is March 12th, day 2. So if we go to send on a specific date, let's go to March. There's the 12th. Let's go 2 days before. And now you can see this is going to send ASAP, right? So as soon as possible, it's going to go to them right away. This is going to be the day before, and this should be an hour before, but it didn't show up like that automatically. This is something that you'll want to make sure that you set yourself. 9 a.m. the day before is a perfectly fine time to send a reminder for the next day, but the day of, we need to make sure that this sends at the correct time. And in this case, Central Time, this needs to send at 5 p.m., which is 6 p.m. Eastern, therefore an hour before this call, right? So with that done, the campaign is ready. Let's go over here and check out the thank you page that it just created for us. Oh, I love it. Look at it. It's so good. Okay. Let's go over here. I don't want all of these extra links like this. I don't want that. I don't want that either, because it already has this here. So sometimes it does create a little bit of redundancy. So we're telling it to check your inbox, check the promotion spam, add it to your calendar. If you don't see confirmation within 30 minutes, reach out, and that's already here. It's got a reiteration of the date and time. It's got the image, and with that, we're good to go, right? So we're also giving them a little tip, right? So that's excellent. I love it. Always check for making sure that it is correct, right? That the information is correct. Let's go to settings. Because this is a thank you page, it needs to be by link only, right? This isn't something that needs to be searchable. Google doesn't need to lead people here. I'm going to click done. I'm going to click save. And now we can plug this funnel up and call it a day. So I'm going to refresh this landing page that we created. We're going to go into the settings. And if you want this to be discoverable, then you could show this everywhere, or you could choose to make this by link only. But most importantly, what we need to do is head over here to leads. We're going to go to message to show. And since we're showing the form on the page, we don't need to really put anything here, but the form button label should not be download now, right? This should be save my seat, right? And it did choose pink, and that goes along fine with our theme, so I will leave that as is. If you want to collect additional information in the form, you could certainly put that here. And then after they register, let's go grab that campaign that we created. And this is that exhausted, 5-step framework launch from exhausted to energized. And then we're going to send them to the thank you page, right? And so this is the workshop thank you. There it is. That's the page we just created. And let's go ahead and put a tag here for 5-step postpartum March 12, 2026, right? So that way I can find the people who registered for this if I need to send them something else, such as the replay later, right? So that's how we plug it up the rest of the way. We've got our landing page here, and after they register, we're going to send that campaign. We're going to send them to that thank you page that we created, and we're going to tag them so we can find them later. I say done, I save it, view it. Okay, view. There we go. And this is ready to share. It's ready to test. You can put your name and email in here. And this page is what you want to be sharing everywhere, right? You want to put it in your email. You want to promote this link if you are going to be live. Here we go. We're at our thank you page. This is great. And I will start receiving those emails. Pretty cool, right? So that is what it looks like to get the whole system set up for your funnel, right? So we had our confirmation page. It's all plugged in. We just tested it. And let's talk about what it looks like to actually host it. So when it's time for you to actually host this event, what you're going to do is head over to your Attractwell account, come right down here to Zoom meetings, and you are going to start the meeting. Right? So your campaign is going to send the link out to them to join. All you have to do is start the meeting. Now, when you are in the meeting, make sure that you record to cloud, right? Record to cloud, because what's going to happen after you are done with that recording is you get to go right here to my recordings, and you'll see the recording that you held, and you're able to go over here and copy it into your video library, right? So once that's done, you copy that into your video library. And after it's had a chance to process, you can come right over here to videos. And there it is right there. I can click share with link and get the link. I don't want this to be shareable to a specific contact. It's just going to be, I'm just going to send this to folks who signed up. So I'm going to click get link. Another option would be to create a replay page and embed the video in it, which is certainly fine. But if you want to send the replay out, you find that recording. And then you can send the replay out to people who registered. So I do have a prompt framework here for you to come up with an email to schedule out to those folks. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to dashboard, send email, text, or app notification. I'm going to click just one message. I'm going to search for my, here we go, my registrants for this event. I'm going to write an email. I'm just going to use the basic email editor this time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the email prompt right here. I'm going to come right here to let me see. Oh, for some reason, the AI magic wand isn't showing up in this email editor, Greg. Am I missing something? Huh. So I guess
That's interesting.
Right? Yeah, that might be a little bug. We'll get that looked at. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on Write with AI. I'm going to have it write for me. I'm going to paste in the prompt. And I'm going to say details below. And then I'll paste it down below. So write a friendly email to send to people who registered for my workshop. Some attended, some didn't. I want to share the replay with everyone. Here are the things it should do. Reiterate the 3 takeaways, which again, I'll have below, which I'll say right here below. Encourage them to watch, even if they attended live. Include a clear call to action to keep the replay, keep the tone warm, helpful, not pushy. Perfect. All right. So I will then copy again the stuff that I already have here on my desktop. Here, just drag this down so you can see what I did. This is still the description, the title, the takeaways, everything that AI generated for us previously. So I'm going to go right. And then I'm just going to copy what it provided to me. And then I'm going to go and write that email. Oh, and look, it's actually giving it to me in code, which is pretty cool. I've told it to do this in my AI settings. Don't worry, yours won't do this unless you've told it to. So I'll show you what that looks like. This basically means that I can just go and paste it right in, which is pretty cool. So let's go back to send an email. It still has my tag here. So I'm going to go and write that email using the basic editor. And then I've got right here an opportunity to paste what it gave me. So let me just paste that here. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Ooh, look at that. See, if you tell it to give it to you in code, it'll pre-format it for you. Love it. Look at that voice on this. This is great. Okay. So watch the workshop replay here. I need to change this And here we go. Here's what we're going to do. We want to pop the video in here because we want them to be able to see it. Check this cool thing out that Attractwell does. You click add video, and then you can go in and find, let me see if I have one that actually shows like a talking head somewhere. Here we go. How about this? I'm going to click select. So let's pretend that this is the recording from the live one that you hosted. If we pop that in here, we can just send them to the video, or if this video is embedded on a page on your website, like a replay page, you could link to it here. I'm going to add video to email, and it's going to show up as this animated GIF right here, which is kind of cool. But they can't watch it in email, obviously. They have to click it. It's automatically ready for them to click and go watch wherever it is that you're sending them to. It makes it a bit more interactive. And then I can put my subject line of your replay is live. Your replay is up. And then I could go ahead and schedule this to go out after, of course, I've had a chance to get it processed. So maybe I'm going to send that out the next morning, right? So I will go ahead and schedule that. And anyone else is scheduling to one person right now. Know that when you schedule things in Attractwell, whoever has that tag, when it's time for it to send, it'll send to all of them. So I'll go ahead and schedule that. And that's it. Yeah, that's everything. To get it all done for a live event, that is it. Now, to make this evergreen, it is really simple. We're basically just going to go and ask the AI to make pages like this that are not date-based, but are on demand. And we're going to do the same for the campaign, right? And now, instead of sending them to the, promise that we're going to have a live call, we're going to send them a link to watch the video right away. So here is our workshop registration. I'm going to go over here and make a new page like this one. This is also going to be a landing or opt-in page. And I'm going to say this is for the same workshop, only it offers an on-demand video instead of a live call. Create page. So it's going to work on that for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like to get our Evergreen campaign going. So this is going to be slightly different. Obviously, we're going to be sending them straight to via email, the recording, right? And then we want to nurture them further so that they actually convert onto whatever it is that we want to offer, right? Because it's easy when we've got someone on a live call to be able to interact with them there or later. But what we really want to be able to do if someone interacts with this as an evergreen passive resource, we want it to be something that more persistently puts those opportunities in front of them to convert. So let's go ahead and open up a new tab in Attractwell. And let's get started with our campaign. So here's the campaign builder here. We're going to create one just like we did before. Click Add, Campaign Creator Tool. And then I'm going to paste in this prompt framework here that I've given to you. Let me see. So create a 7-email evergreen campaign for my on-demand workshop, details below. And then I will paste the description and the promises beneath here. The replay is available at, so what I can do here is, well, I'm actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab the link for this just to make my life a little easier. So that's going to be in our video library under our content library in Attractwell. So go to videos. I'm going to go click get link and click. Let me come back over here. There's the video replay. At the end of this workshop, I want people to, I'm going to ask them to book a discovery call, but you may send them to a sales page if you want. And I already have provided the AI in its settings with the link to my discovery call, so I don't need to go find the link for that. Now, day 0, we're going to deliver the replay link, let them know that they can watch right now, build excitement about what they'll learn. And then emails 2 through 7, so this is over the course of 21 days, we're going to reference takeaways from the workshop. We're going to connect to what they learned and next steps they could take. And each email should encourage them to book a call, right? So I want to specify my call to action. Remember, this is a framework, not a done for you prompt, right? So the tone should be helpful and consultative, not pushy. Make sure each email feels like a natural continuation of the workshop content, not a generic sales pitch. This is going to be 7 messages. I am going to create. Let's come back over here. and see how Attractwell's AI offered this on demand, watch anytime, get instant access, and it's making the same promises, which is great. We've got a little bit of info about Jane. We've even got a quick little Q&A, which is cool. So let's preview this real quick. Looking good. Works for me. All right, excellent. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then we can do exactly what we did before. I'm going to make a new page like this one. This is going to be a thank you page. And then I'm just going to create because, well, I don't really need to give it a lot of context here. Let's see what it does. All right, so coming back over here to campaigns, let's see what it did. Excellent. We've got click here to access the workshop. If you wanted to use that cool feature that we have in Attractwell to have that animated image show up, you could put that here as well, which I am going to do. I'm going to go ahead and again, click video. I'm going to find the one that I want, select, and I'm going to send it just to the video on my website in this case. But again, if you have this video embedded on a replay page, you can select that page. There we go. We reiterate what they'll get. Let me see what else. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, so we've got book a discovery call is at the end. Let me go verify that the link is correct there. That one is not in this case, but I think it's because I provided something that wasn't real in the AI settings. So definitely make sure to double check and make sure that the links that are in here are the ones that you want. It's speaking the way that you want, etc. But you can see that we've got you know, a nice every few days email that's going out that is offering them the opportunity to book with you. I'm going to click create here. And this does not need to be date-based because this is going to send out whenever, right? And it's going to drip out over time based on when they sign up. So coming back over here, our confirmation or thank you page is done. Let's go check it out. Beautiful. All right, this is so cool. I love it. So it's on the way. Check your email. Here's what happens next. Reach out if you need help. Great. I do think that it is kind of giving a little bit more than we need, and you could certainly delete some of these sections. I know that AI thinks that more is more. In an instance like this, my opinion is that you really just need to be telling them, go check your email, right? So we could maybe tell it via a prompt to keep it simple. So go over here to settings, make sure that this is available by link only because it is a thank you page. Let's click done and save. And then we can go back to our pages and let's find, this is our on-demand page here. I'm going to refresh this because it needs to know on the back end about the campaign and thank you page that we just created. So let's go over here to settings, just like we did before. Let's go to leads, what to do after a lead registers. This is going to be the 5-step postpartum on demand. And here is our on demand. Let's find that campaign. What was the name of that campaign? Workshop replay to discovery call conversion. So we do have a naming convention. Here it is. We need to actually change the name of that campaign ideally to make it a little easier for us to find. And here we go. This is on demand. What is the name of that page? On-demand workshop access 5-step postpartum wellness framework. Excellent. So one thing that you may choose to do as you're building these assets out is to double check what the AI is putting into the titles and things like that so that you can keep a consistent naming convention and don't find yourself confused when you need to plug up the funnel. So I'm going to click done and save and view. And this funnel now becomes, just like any other funnel I can have on my website, an opportunity for me to more deeply nurture the folks that are on my list or to provide new ways for people to enter into my world, to get onto my newsletter and to potentially get onto discovery calls and the like with me, right? And that is it. That's the whole system. You take the one thing and you turn it into the new things. And I've got all of the step-by-step instructions here, page by page, that shows you exactly how to get those results at each step. So I know that that's a lot, but know that there is a replay and you will be able to rewind, pause, slow down, replay, etc., the different pieces of this. But what I want you to walk away with here, what I want to encourage you to really reframe your ideas around is that you can start this now, right? Even if you don't have a following at all yet, record yourself, right? Record something like this so that people have more passive inroads to learn about you, to hear your voice, to grow to trust you. Because most of us, I think, who are probably here today, need to have a way for people to trust us enough to have a conversation before we offer our time, before we offer our services, right? And there is a bridge of trust that needs to be crossed before someone is willing to even do that, right? Even though your time is incredibly valuable, they feel that theirs is too, and they're valuing theirs above yours until they know better, right? And so creating resources like this are going to allow you to be able to demonstrate the proficiency in what you have, the context around what you know and how you serve, and to allow people to more readily move toward engaging with you directly. So I hope that you take those steps here today. I'm going to get into the Q&A here. Let me see. I don't see you in the Q&A. I just want to make double sure because I did have Leslie sign up for a live work review. So Leslie, if you are here, let me know. I do want to make sure that you are not overlooked. Okay, there you are. You're in the chat. Nope, you're in exactly the right place. I'm going to bring you out to chat here. And we can take a look at whatever you would like to work on together.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Hang on. All right. I won't see myself, right?
That's right.
Okay, great. All right. Oh, good. My brain is spinning. That was amazing. And I see people in the chat saying the same thing. What I was really looking at is I have several things. I sent you my members area, which I've been looking at as a landing page because that's where people will see first, but that may not be, well, the questions that I had was, one, it automatically set the verbiage to a pale purple. So I have no idea. I did not do that. It's very hard to read. Uh, and and maybe it's possible because my husband was already using Attractwell before I started using it for the team, so he may have set that.
Okay.
Oh, so yes. So I was looking at the member area.
Got you.
Oh, here you go.
So
I see.
anything that is a link is going to initially show up in this color. And when you hover over it, it would show up in this color. My suggestion would be to switch these because this is going to be a little easier to read as like a solid bit of text. And then this is just simply the color that it highlights as. So this saturation is going to be a little bit easier, especially for people with differential abilities with reading, to be able to kind of see the difference there. But let's talk about your member area for sure. Tell me what we want to look for specifically
So
in
what I'm
here.
trying to do, well, for one, this on the app, on the computer where you are looks great. I mean it looks, the header photo is way too big. On the app, it looks perfect.
Uh-huh.
And what I'm trying to do is keep it simple. So what I ended up doing was creating multiple vaults. So let me see. I tried cropping it based on the screen width, and
Mm,
that's what it did.
yeah.
I already tried. I
So,
already
yeah, generally speaking, where you're going to be using images that have text in them, those are going to be a better fit for the main photo. And then you might use something actually more like what you have for the main photo here, just a wider orientation, because the text in an image is going to play differently on different device
okay.
sizes. So I would
And
kind of
that's
swap out your approach here and use maybe a version of this as the main photo, and then some kind of a nice background, landscape background for the main or for the cover
okay.
rather. Yeah, swapping the
And then
logic there.
so on the mobile app, it's perfect. It looks fantastic.
Right,
It
right.
Can you change that back? Because I'm trying to remember
Yeah, no,
to
it's back.
not fit to screen. Okay, great.
Sure.
On the mobile app, this little photo is bigger, and I don't
Hmm.
know how to make that smaller. Of course, it came from my images.
Yeah,
Is there a way to
so
do that?
not really. I mean, typically what a
Okay.
main photo is going to be something more like what you have here, right? So a main photo is going to be like a logo, or something to that effect, whereas a cover photo would be something that is, something that it's not as material, right? To like whether it shrinks up or down. So like a landscape image or pattern, or or even just a blank, like a solid
Okay.
color. Yeah.
Okay. And so what I was trying to do is when as you see the different
Hmm.
vaults is do you see what I'm saying with the purple?
Yes.
It's
And do you
very
see when
it's
I hover over this, you see how you can read that better?
yes.
Yeah. So if you swap those two colors in your color settings, then you're going to have the darker, more saturated purple. And then when you hover over it, it would be the lighter color, which is fine because it
I
is a little bit
yeah,
harder to
and
read the way it is right now.
it is very hard to read, and I couldn't figure that out. So the other thing that that I was curious about is I'm using this for myself, and then I'm also using it as a team. So
Hmm.
network marketing. So I've got a large organization. I have other leaders. What I'm looking at is I love the you could share a link feature, but it has my name there. Is there a way to um create to have it where it's not my name, but I can keep that for the funnels that I'm working on for myself? Does that make
Mm.
sense?
You mean when you share the member
See it,
area, you want the member area to have its own domain?
I guess so.
So
Instead
it
of
would be
saying,
like, team whatever, that's like
yes, Global
the member
Legacy
area.
Team,
Right. So yeah. Yeah.
Leslie Hawker's member area.
Yeah, this is not something that I've done very specifically myself, but there absolutely, you've got website domains here that you can connect. And so, like, your main website would be your Leslie Hawker one. That's where your blog would be, your
Yes.
landing pages, etc. But you could, I believe, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, you could assign a different URL to the member area and its pages.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
Okay,
so you
then
would just
that's
be
what I need
connecting
to
those
do.
domains here.
Okay. All right, that's helpful. I think I'm going to reach out to your concierge just so that I can I'm putting material in that's already been created by myself and others.
Mhm.
So I think reaching out to the concierge so they can help me lay out the format so then I can just upload it so it's visually more appealing.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
just so you know, our team has a ton of experience with setting up exactly what you're talking about for network marketing teams. So definitely reach
Yeah.
out.
I am gonna do that. I'm like my hair's on fire. Okay. Not because of the track well, but just because there's so much, it gets overwhelming. All right. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I've got some great questions here that I would like to answer that pertain to the workshop topics that we're talking about here. So Deanna says I'll be hosting a 3-day virtual retreat that I'd like to turn evergreen. What's the best way to record the different modules? Ideally, I'd have one Zoom link for the clients rather than different ones for each day. Will the system record each module under the same Zoom link? Yeah, so this would be the same as like if you go into when I showed you earlier today, when I created a Zoom link for the workshop. I created a one-time link. You could use a recurring link there, and it's going to record every instance. Basically, every time you open and hit record or record to cloud, it's going to record a new session for you, and you get to name that what you name it and put that into your system. In terms of delivery, um, you have a lot of options there, right? So if this is something that you want to turn evergreen inside of a member area, if you wanted to have people log in and then get one video dripped per day in a place where people can comment, you could put this in a vault. You could also just simply send the link out to the separate videos. And I love the idea of this being a 3-day virtual retreat You're not going to give them the option to Netflix, like all of it right away. You can make them wait a couple of days in between. So if you've got those multiple videos, you can do it that way for sure. I love that idea. Yulia says, that's such a great setup for a recorded workshop. Thank you for guidance. Is there any way to change the way the workshop or have an option for prospects to choose a different time? So this would be something that you could do. So in terms of different time, that really just has to do with you, right? Because the time-based one is going to be whatever the date and time your live is. Basically, what we're doing here is we are setting up a live instance where you have a calendar date and time where you're going to host your event. And then we've got an on-demand instance, right? So we're not creating a faux live, pick a time to watch it. It is, you watch it now. Right. So it's watch it, when it's scheduled or watch it now. And so if you are going to be offering multiple days of the same workshop, what you might consider doing is maybe having multiple landing pages or use events for this. You could also use the events feature in Attract Well and have the same event, but just on multiple days. So I would create one event in Attract Well and I would duplicate it and set it for the next date and time that you're going to be hosting it live. And then I would have another campaign. Basically, I'd create the same campaign and adjust it for the date information. Just go in and change in the dates and keep everything else the same. And the cool thing about running the same workshop multiple times is that you get good at it, your delivery gets better. And that means that you get to pick whichever one has the better reporting for how you use it Evergreen. Let's see. Do you recommend using the events page versus creating a vault? So if the goal, Deanna, is to have interactability, if you want people to be able to actively engage, maybe while they're taking in, maybe in between sessions, end of the day, stuff like that, a retreat, like a digital retreat, I think a vault is a really great option for that. Because otherwise the interaction of the group is going to be limited to just when you're live. But if you are working a little lighter, you're not wanting to build that complication into the picture, then you could certainly just keep it to the live events, send the emails and everything out, have people join live, participate there, etc. But if part of the feature is that people get to interact in between sessions, for instance, post videos, etc., then I think a vault is a great place to do this. You could put the schedule up inside of the vault as well for everyone who joins. You can organize the replays, resources, etc. And there, basically what you're doing in this instance is you're creating a group program. It's just taking the course over, 3 days as opposed to 3 weeks. All right. TL says, excellent stuff. How do we do webinar type sessions where the participants don't show up on video like here and can enter without me having to let them in? So this, we don't have the webinars feature in Attract Well. We do have Zoom meetings. You can purchase a Zoom webinar license. Unfortunately, for us to turn it on, it would basically cost the same amount as for you guys to just get your own webinar license if it's important for you to have that set up. But I would say that the best way to do this is when you go into Zoom meetings, you can go, I'm in Leslie's account. Bear with me just a second. Let me get into one. What is up with my cursor here? Okay. So what you would do is you'd go into Zoom meetings. You would create a new meeting by going to schedule meeting, give it the topic, etc. You would not automatically start the video for participants. You would not enable the waiting room if you don't want to worry about a waiting room. So I wouldn't turn that on. Do not allow attendees to join before you. I would hop on a few minutes early. Once you're actually in the Zoom meeting itself and you click the more, there are other controls and settings that you can put in place. You can forbid attendees from turning on video, from unmuting, etc. So you do have controls once you're in there. Just go in a little early. Obviously, again, if you don't want to have the waiting room, you don't have to use it. And that, that's how I would set that up. When would we send them the replay? Yeah, so just as soon as it's processed and ready. So depending on how long it is, if you recorded to cloud and you clicked like I demonstrated here just a little bit ago in the demo, then it's going to be within a couple of hours that you could do that. But I think that it is wholly reasonable for it to be the next business day if you want, especially if you offer something that's later in the day. So yeah, the replay would just be whenever it works for you. I would give, depending on the speed of your device, maybe a couple of hours. If it's maybe within an hour-long call, you might need a little bit more time if it's a longer call that you're sharing. Regarding the on-demand workshop, how would you add a payment to this? Yeah, so let's go find that page real quick. And well, actually, this account doesn't have payments enabled, so you're not going to see the entire process. But if we go and find that workshop, here we go, workshop registration. So this is the live one. What we would do here is we would go into settings, we would go into payments, and then we would require payment here. And then that payment option, you're going to see in this same place here. So there's name and email, and then there's going to be beneath that, above the button, a place for them to enter their payment info and pay for it. All right, what's the best way to edit the videos once recorded? If I record a 2-hour module, I want to break that up into sections. Yeah, so Deanna, what I would do in that case, if you are actually getting a 2-hour recording from Zoom, just so you know, if you are recording in Zoom, if you start and stop, those will be 2 different videos, right? So if you stop a recording and then you reinitiate a recording, whether that's to your computer or to the cloud, those will be 2 different recordings in Zoom. But if you do need to edit your video, and that's going to be a practice that you're assuming, in your Zoom meeting setup in Attractwell, there's a check there that you could put a check mark to auto record to your device. Now, Attractwell doesn't have video editing as of right now, and so you can actually have that download to your device immediately. Or record to your device immediately, where you can trim it up and do whatever you need to, and then you would just be uploading those into Attractwell videos. So instead of using the Zoom cloud recording, you would just be moving it in from your device to Attractwell videos. TL says, I release a weekly podcast. Any suggestions on how to integrate this with that? I've been playing with the thought of opening up the solo cast taping sessions as a masterclass, but don't want overkill or overcommitment. Maybe just make it a monthly event. Just make it a live thing. And then you can get people to sign up for, even if you don't have one that's coming up, just have like a landing page where you can say, be in the know, right? Like, I want to know about the next class that's coming up. You could use the events feature as well in Attractwell, which gives you a static page. So, your website /events. And if you've got a listing for each of these things that you're doing, maybe you plan these out a quarter or 6 months in advance for what you're doing month to month. You would be able to just connect them there. Let me show you what that would look like. Obviously, because we're using a landing page for this purpose. So this is my, this one. I'm going to copy the link for this and then go over to events. And you can see that we've got all of our events here. I could create a new one. And you're going to put all of the information in here that you would have more or less put onto the landing page, an abbreviated version of it. So there's the date, there's the time, there's the promise, there's the title, right? Don't worry about the campaign or any of this other stuff about where we send them, because what we're actually doing, if we go to more options, uncheck self-registration and just paste in the event link. And so do this for each event that you plan. And that gives you the opportunity to put your website /events as the static link in the show notes of any podcast that you create. So that's just like a consistent call to action link that you can share, is my website /events. And then if you've got a digest of everything you have coming up, and they're just going to be able to click off and go to that landing page, you've got, a feed, if you will, of like, here are all of the upcoming events. And that'll allow them to pick the one they want to attend. You're recording them regardless. Those become content for you. And then you're off to the races from there. Let me see. Can I use events to post each one of my fitness classes, then link it to the booking link? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, absolutely, you can. So that event link that you use, I chose to put a page link here that has a form on it This link could be to your booking. Yeah, this could be to a booking page, like to a like one of these booking types that has your calendar. So if you want to send them to a calendar where they're choosing an upcoming date, you could absolutely put that there as well. The key is just to uncheck self-registration, because we do have like a traditional events feature like you would see on like Eventbrite or Facebook events where people can RSVP. But if you don't want that typical RSVP and you just want this to be a pathway to go and take action on the page or the calendar where you want them to, that's what you would use it for. So many good questions today. All right, you guys, we didn't even have time to get to all of the awesome feature updates that Greg has been so busy on. Let me just give you guys a quick heads up. If you have been interested at all in updating the way your blog looks, don't miss next week's call. We have some really exciting new layout options for you, personalization, customization options for how you want your blog to show up. This is something that has been on the wish list for a bit. We have so much gratitude for you guys for giving us feedback and suggestions. Greg has, I don't know when he sleeps, he created some really cool layouts. So we are going to be exploring setting up your blog this coming week, and very specifically making it look just how you want it to, right? So not just bringing in, your images and stuff like that. This is going to be about the layouts and making sure that not just the structural layout, but the way that you lay out your content works for conversion and actually keeps people sticking around, scrolling more, and ultimately opting into what you're offering. If you are someone who offers pay what you wish, or donation based options on your pages, that is now also a thing you can do with Attractwell. If you have admins who run your member area, they can also make updates to things like descriptions and images and things like that. It's a lot easier for them to do that too. What else? Gosh, there's so many things. Craig is always so busy with new updates. What did I miss? I missed one, I'm sure. Let me see. We've got layouts, which we're going to cover in depth next week. Oh yeah, automation, or we can automatically apply animations to entire pages too. So if you're in the page builder and you want your page to come alive with animation, you can actually blanket apply that from the top if you want to, or section by section, without having to go and select each element and applying an animation to it individually. Y'all, so cool. I hope you get in and play around with this week. And I really hope that you'll join us next week, where we're going to go in depth on setting up your blog using these new features. Make sure that you are getting the emails that we're sending out. If you sign up at attractwell.com/office hours, you will. We'll be talking more about these features in the weekly well newsletter that goes out tomorrow too. We appreciate you guys and your time here today. Join us in our Facebook group as well. That's right. Greg always posts there first. So if you really want to be the first to know, if Greg finished something at like 1 a.m., he's putting that up in there. So we've got a lot of great, interesting, fun stuff in the pipeline. Can't wait to show it to you. And yeah, we'll see you guys back here next week to work on the blog. And we so appreciate you. And Denny, we love you. And I am really glad that you've chosen to be here with us. Thank you guys. And we'll see you next time. Take care.